If you're looking for the ultimate $3,000 gaming PC, this build is either going to be right at the top of your list or way outside of your budget. Let me explain. You see, this is the most powerful mainstream gaming and compute PC from AMD and Nvidia. There is extremely little that this PC will ever break a sweat over. We're talking 4K gaming, high refresh 1440p, extremely advanced content creation and software projects. This PC handles all of it, and it does so while looking extremely beautiful and with the noise performance of a fart in space. But that is as long as you can get your hands on this otherwise unobtainium hardware. So stay tuned to the end because I'm going to give you my best tips and tricks for getting your hands on this hardware. So $3,000 ultimate gaming PC, let's do this. So in this video, I'm going to show you an epic build montage, one worthy of a PC like this, before then going over the extreme performance numbers of this dream PC. But first, let me talk to you about the hardware. What makes this build so special? I will have everything linked in the video description for you with updated pricing, so check that out. But otherwise, jumping straight into the CPU, we have the Ryzen 9 5950X. This 16-core 32-thread CPU with a clock speed of 3.4 to 4.7 GHz is an absolute monster at anything gaming or content creation. This is quite literally the best mainstream CPU on the market right now. And to cool this beast, we have the Enkey 360 from G.Skill. This 360mm closed-loop liquid cooler with addressable RGB should be excellent at cooling our CPU, and should look pretty good in the process, because one of the things that I appreciate the most about this liquid cooler is that it uses the standard PWM fan header and also the 3-pin 5055 volt, which means that we can connect it to most addressable RGB solutions. And because of that, we're going to swap out the fans to the Arctic Bionics P120 ARGB. These are some excellent fans from Arctic, and the RGB solution is phenomenal. I did a review with these fans recently, and they do have a caveat, so check out that video after this. I'll leave it in the description for you. For our memory, we have 32GB of Trident Z Neo at 3600 MHz and a CAS latency of CR18. They're not the fastest or the tightest timings, but that's more than enough for what we need. They look absolutely incredible, and they were a really good price. Connecting everything together, we have the ASRock B550 Taichi Razor Chroma Edition. Now this is definitely one of the best looking motherboards that I have ever seen. The super stealth matte black look is both subtle and aggressive at the same time. With PCIe Gen 4, 2.5 GB networking and a great VRM solution, this is an excellent addition to our build. And I can't wait to tie all of the lighting together with Razor Chroma. For storage, we're using this Aorus 1TB Gen 4 PCIe M.2 SSD Copper Chunk Monster Edition. This is an absolute weapon, both in speed and ability to assault somebody. It is a lot heavier than you think it is. And for GPU, we're using the Nvidia RTX 3080 Founders Edition. As defined by Nvidia, this is their current flagship gaming GPU, and boy does it perform. This thing is an absolute beast, both in high refresh 1440p and 4K gaming. And with upgraded real-time ray tracing and DLSS, it's easy to see why this is one of the most coveted items to buy in the PC hardware space right now. It's so impossible to find, but I am going to leave my tips and tricks in the video description for you to try and get one yourself. And of course, our power supply needs to feed all of this high-end hardware. So we have a Seasonic Focus Gold 1000 watt power supply, and Seasonic makes an excellent power supply, so we can trust that it's going to be a good stable unit for our system. For aesthetics, we're going to include some Asia Horse PSU extensions, including a 12-pin RTX extension, because they make those now, and they look really good, and will tie our whole build together. And then the case, which I am so excited to use. This is a Lee & Lee LANCool 2 Mesh, one of the best no compromises cases on the market right now, and it's born to push limit. Not multiple limits, just one limit. Don't be greedy. But with lots of mesh tempered glass and a stunning presence, I can't wait to build in this case and tell you all about it. So, I think there's only one thing left to do. Let's build this. Honestly, I think that is one of the best looking builds that I've ever built. And the case was an absolute dream to build in. It's no wonder why it's so highly reviewed by so many people. Oh, and the tubes at the top on the front mounted radiator, don't worry, it's absolutely fine. But the funny thing is, I don't typically go for a green theme, but the ASRock Tai Chi Razer edition kind of gave me inspiration for that. You gotta kind of incorporate a bit of green when you've got a few Razer products in there. But then when you have the white RTX logo, it kind of made sense for a green and white theme. And I think it turned out incredibly well. But let me know in the comments below, what color scheme do you typically go for? But otherwise, does it perform as good as it looks? Let me show you. So the answer to that question is yes, it performs just as good as it looks. It obliterates 1440p gaming, dominates 4K gaming, and does extremely well in compute-heavy tasks. But do you want to know a secret? I did all of these tests with 40% fan speed. Let me show you what that sounds like. This is an absolute testament to the G-Skill Enkey 360 and the Arctic Bionics P120 ARGB fans, not only keeping the system cool, but extremely quiet whilst doing so. Bear in mind that this is a 5950X. This is the most powerful mainstream CPU that you can currently buy. And not only was it cool, it was kept extremely quiet whilst doing so. So check them out and everything else used in today's build, as well as some links to hot stock and stock drops for trying to get this CPU and GPU, because otherwise you're just not going to be able to without paying scalper prices. But otherwise, if you enjoyed this video, make sure that you get subscribed, turn on notifications, make sure that you don't miss upcoming TechLens videos. Otherwise guys, a like is always appreciated. I'll see you in the next one.